Hi, Chris Colby from GC Property Group, and today I want to share with you 5 lessons that I have learned in property in my journey in property so far. So, based on my experience of houses I've tried to buy, any issues I've come across in that, I've put together these 5 items that I want to share with you. But before I do that, just make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also join my investor list so you can see more exclusive content and have access to some of the deals that I'm working on. So you will not have access to these deals unless you join my investors list. So please join. You're missing out if you're not on it. Anyway, moving on. So number 1, the first thing that you need to do is before you go and view properties, get to know a builder, or at least have had a few quotes from a builder on similar sort of projects before you go and estimate any build costs yourself. So I went into a couple of deals. One particularly I went into in the sort of Rotherham, well, North Rotherham, it wasn't Rotherham itself kind of way. I didn't know much about the build costs at that point. I estimated that the building would be about 16 grand. The quote from the builder came back, and this was a good reputable builder that does it at a good price. The first quote came at £40,000. I mean, that was quite excessive. I did get a much cheaper one from an equally good builder, but that came back at sort of £24,000. So as a result, it completely messed my figures up. Now, I thought that I had done my due diligence on the building work correctly. I hadn't. Opened my hands. I learned quite a good lesson from that, so I had to pull out. So that deal ended up costing me the cost of a survey, because I think, it was about £400 it cost for the survey. It cost me about another £350, £400 in legal fees so far. So it did cost me a bit, but I learnt my lesson from it. And when I go and view properties now and I price up building work, I have a better idea because I have those quotes. But also what I've managed to do is sort of put together a better tool that adds contingencies to that. So if you're looking at properties, make sure you know someone in the building trade that can come and help you, or you get someone to go and look at it for you to give you an accurate estimation. Second thing, if you are looking at going into full-time into property investment and you want some extra funding and you're thinking of remortgaging your home, make sure you do it before you quit your job. So it's very important that you do that, because I know some people that have tried to do that, they've quit their job, they've been, we want to do it, they've quit their job, and of course their income's much less. So for those that you don't know, actually getting mortgages and finance through a limited company for property is a lot easier than getting it personally on your house. So when you're getting it personally on your house, what the banks are interested in, they're interested in your income and then your outgoings, but mainly what is your income. When you do it under a limited company for property, they're not bothered what your income is. What the bank is looking for is that they're looking at the deal and trying to make sure that the deal you're doing makes sense and it will produce that rental income that you say it will to cover the mortgage costs. So again, if you're looking at refinancing your own house, do it before you quit your job. Number 3, always keep checking your credit score and calculating how much you can borrow. So when you're doing property refurb work or development work, there inevitably can be things that can crop up. That's things that just not been noticed, such as you pull the floorboards up when you're doing the renovation and notice a load of rot, so you have to replace the joists and then the associated floorboards. That's not happened to me, but I know it has happened to some people, and that puts another £2,000 or £3,000 onto the bill. And if you don't have that currently liquid in your account, where are you going to get it from? So it's always a really good idea to have an understanding of any funds that you have got access to, just for contingency purposes. Or if you've got a list of investors, it's worth just understanding, okay, are any of those open to joint ventures in the respect of lending you some money for a period of 6 months just to get you over the line of building work. So do that regularly and you should be okay. Point number 4, it's always important to set your goals and have a strategy. The whole sort of saying is, if an airplane takes off and if it doesn't know its destination, it will just fly around and round and round and round and round until it basically runs out of fuel. So never be like that. Always make sure you have goals and know where you're going. and then also have worked out how you're going to get there. What is your strategy? So for me, my goal was to become financially free by the end of the year. I'm still working on that despite the current situation, but I know that my main area is through doing buy, refurb, refinance project. I have some money to do that, and I want to just keep recycling my cash to do that. But I also know that I want to do 2 serviced accommodation units from a rent-to-rent scheme to help build cash flow, and also to help investors securing properties. So that's my main strategy to get there. The main one being buy, refurbish, refinance. So always make sure, and this is the same for every area of life, make sure you've got a strategy and you've got your goals, you know what it is you want. Point number 5, and this is the most important lesson I learned through doing this, and that is do not allow emotion to rule over logic. So if you're getting started within property investing, it's very, very easy to get caught up thinking, I want my first property deal, I want my first property deal, and to find something that kind of looks like it roughly works and then just go head into it because you've kind of just fallen in love with the idea of having it. So I kind of did this with my first one. I did my due diligence, it stacked up, but I didn't know enough about the building side of it to accurately find out what those build costs were. So logically, I probably would have got a builder round before I put an offer in, or at least spoke to a builder to get an estimate. But I didn't do that. Emotionally, I really wanted that just to say that, yes, I've got my first property deal. So as I said earlier, the build costs, they were much higher. So I had to pull out of that deal. So it ended up costing me some money. But I don't view it as a massive failure because I learned a lot from that. I've learned things that I will make sure I never do again. So as I said, make sure the logical part of the brain is ruling over the emotional part of the brain. I don't know why I'm pointing at either side because I've got no idea what part of the brain that is. But you get the idea. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and comment on anything I've said or anything you'd like to hear. And also make sure you do subscribe to my channel so you get updates of any new videos and join my investor list. My investor list is free to join. There's no obligation for you to do anything. What it means is, it means that I'm interested in property investment and I want to receive your email that you send out every 2 weeks. Now these emails will contain some property deals I'm working on. They'll contain anything where I'm looking for a joint venture, but they'll also just contain some tips and things of what I found in my journey. So as I said, do join. There's no obligation at all to buy anything from me, to work on any deals with me. It's just for information purposes. Anyway, have a great day. Stay safe. Thanks.